Hey guys, Jamie here with our weekly video of encouragement. I can share my cameras here, right? Today I'm in the kitchen because I have a new coffee recipe to share with you guys, just in time for the spring and summer. So I definitely have been loving my mini Keurig coffee machine I got for Christmas from my in-laws. It is so cute and so fun. It's right over there. But as the weather gets warmer, I definitely love an iced coffee, and I've done several, I didn't go back and look, but there's just several things that I've enjoyed making over the years, so totally on the cheap. And I pretty much thought I had my whole menu set, but you guys, this new one is so good. I could not wait to come on and share it with you, and I thought it was the perfect day because if you don't know, you can go get a medium cold brew coffee today only. You guys, it's like cold brew coffee day. So this is the perfect day to do this video. But in honor of that, Dunkin' Donuts, I don't even know if other coffee shops are doing anything. I didn't even look. But you can go get a medium cold brew at Dunkin' Donuts for free with any purchase. So you can get yourself like 3 little munchkin donut holes for yourself. They're not dairy free, or if you know, just something little, and then get the free coffee. I got Graham a breakfast sandwich since we homeschool, and that's his lunch. So I am going to show you how to make this coffee recipe. I'm so pumped about it. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but Jeff and I go every spring on a little getaway with the best little coffee shop out of town, and I remembered that last year I had the best iced latte. I don't even hardly get iced lattes anymore because they seem, if I get them at local shops, they're like hit and miss. Sometimes they're, maybe because they're coconut milk, but they're watery or not enough coffee taste. Just, I always seem disappointed, and they're so expensive. And so a lot of times I'll just get the cold brew and call it done for iced coffee at coffee shops. But this one, I remembered last year on our getaway that I got a coconut milk latte. One, it's a big deal if anybody even carries coconut milk anymore. And this latte, I remember it being on their special, and it was so good. So Jeff and I went back there this past weekend, and I was like, what was it that I had? And I was looking at their menu, and I was like, I know I like honey, and I like cinnamon, and maybe it was lavender, maybe it was, and he's like, it was probably a honey cinnamon latte. And I was like, you know what, that, or maybe Jeff's the one who remembered. He might have been the first one to think of it. And I was like, yeah, I think that might be what it is. So let's just do that. So he made me an iced honey cinnamon latte with coconut milk, and it was exactly like it was last year. A different guy made it, and I was like, this is so good. I don't typically like to get sweet coffee anymore. I've totally weaned myself off of that, but if I was doing sweet, honey would be my choice. And it was just so good that we went the next day on our way home. I got the same thing. I asked for it half sweet because that's one way to cut down sweetness if you're getting something sweet. So like at Starbucks and stuff, if I ever get something sweet, I'll say half sweet. So the second round this past weekend, I got half sweet, and it was just as good. So when he made it, I had to ask like how he made it. I'm like, I'm from out of town, so don't worry, I'll buy this every time I can. But I asked him, did you put cinnamon syrup in it? Because it just tasted nice, just so even. Everything just tasted so blended great, so even. The right amount of coffee, the right amount of honey. Once I did it half sweet, the right amount of cinnamon. I knew I saw little speckles, but I was like, it's just so even. It doesn't feel like you just dumped honey in the bottom of it. And he's like, well, we do a honey syrup, and I just sprinkle cinnamon on the top. And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds brilliant. You guys, you may know about this. I just may be out of the loop, but I feel like if anybody should know about this, it should be me. So apparently you can make honey syrup, which a big post on our website is about making your own vanilla syrup that we did once for, or we used to do for snow cones for all the neighbor kids. And that seems to be really popular with people looking for recipes for snow cone syrups that maybe are natural or don't have any food coloring. And so anyway, this is right in line with that. You could literally make a honey syrup snow cone. These things may end up on my blog at some point. So anyway, he explained to me that they use a honey syrup with real honey, but it's a syrup, so it blends nicely into the coffee, and then just sprinkled cinnamon on the top, which I would normally think just sprinkling cinnamon on the top would not be that good, but it is so good. So I came home, had to look up how to make honey syrup. Turns out it's even easier than I could imagine, and have made myself these coffees now for a couple days. And I can make it like literally as good as the coffee shop was making it. Now, you can do this as, I'm gonna show you guys how to make the honey syrup, or at least tell you, I'm gonna show you mine. And we're gonna make this coffee here today because I want one really bad. And so there's a couple ways for you to do this with the honey syrup and the cinnamon. Like yesterday, I have a coffee membership or a drink membership at Panera. And so I got an iced coffee, came home, and then put creamer and did the honey syrup and the cinnamon, and it was so good. Today, I'm using the cold brew from Dunkin' Donuts. Hi, Angela, good to see you. Because it was free. So I got it totally black so that I could come home and make it this little concoction. Another thing you could do is just use cold coffee and then doctor it up with what we're gonna do here. You could make another thing that we like to do, I love to do, and you guys, I know several of you do too, is make your own cold brew as the summer comes. Have that in the refrigerator so you could use your own homemade cold brew. You could use coffee that you get out and about. You could use cold brew that you get out and about. So there's lots of ways to get that base of iced coffee. I'm gonna show you how to flavor it. Again, I am not a sweet coffee drinker per se, but you guys, this is so good. This is the treat. So when I want a latte or whatever, this is my new thing. I'm gonna be able to make at home all summer long, and it's gonna be awesome. Okay, so let me show you, well, let's look at the honey syrup first, you guys. So I made this little jar, and this is honey syrup. So I did some research and some Googling yesterday. The guy did not tell me how to make it, but I knew he had it on the counter at the coffee shop in like just a squeeze bottle, like that, not a pump bottle, but a squeeze bottle. I read that it's literally just 1 part water and 1 part honey. Dissolve the honey into a warm water. They had said if it's like a natural honey, which this one is, this is from a local beekeeper, that you don't want to boil it, so you're not breaking down any health benefits. So I literally just used warm water, dissolved 1 and 1 parts equal, and here is my honey syrup. Now they say you don't even have to refrigerate it. Like honey, you know, is the one food that lasts forever, and dissolved in this honey should last quite a bit, or dissolved in the water should last quite a bit of time. I have other syrups on my counter, so that makes sense. So it's in this little jar. And I also want to say, I thought this was super cool, was I buy these local honeys and they give me them in these jars, and as they start to harden and crystallize, we're scooping it out with a spoon. It's not spreading on bread very well. It's not spreading on biscuits very well. I'm like, do I microwave it? That doesn't seem like a good idea to do with our nice, fancy, expensive honey. You guys, this is the solution to the fancy honey glob situation that happens. Now I can make the syrup from any local honey mess that I have left in the bottom of containers, and this will use it all up. It's like such a great way to be resourceful and use every bit of honey that you have left. Now you could use this syrup on other things too. It doesn't have to be for these coffees. like I said, you can make like the snow cones, just blend up some ice in your blender and put some honey syrup on that. It's pretty thin. It's not per se like a pancake syrup, I wouldn't say, but just in drinks or, I think some people were like cooking with it in the research that I did. Just so good that we can get all of our honey making a syrup. So I actually had that jar of honey that was all crystallized everywhere, and I just poured some warm water in it, shook it, did a little bit of measuring so that we had the 1-to-1 ratio, and this is what I ended up with on the end of this literally would have probably gone in the trash as local delicious honey that I could not scoop out of the bottom of a jar till I put warm water in it, switched it around, and turned it into a syrup in a little container. You guys, I'm so happy about this. So the trick to all of this is how to make this honey syrup. Once you do that, you're golden for doctoring up your coffee. So I've got my Dunkin' Donuts free cold brew from today. I'm excited. I posted this for you this morning, and now I'm showing you a recipe to use with it. Just feeling the coffee love today. This is a little glass cup that I bought at a local coffee shop too. The logo just disappeared. But once you've got your coffee in there, coffee, cold brew, iced coffee, cold brew. You could even do this, I imagine, with hot coffees too, and make it like a hot latte. It's just getting warm here, so I'm all for the cold coffee. I am going to use, because I ordered a latte there, it was milky, which was really good. So my way to impersonate that is I am using creamer. You guys, I'm using a dairy creamer. I'm kind of doing well with dairy creamer these days. This is an organic half and half that I get at Aldi, so do not, make sure you have the sound up on this so you know this is not a dairy-free creamer. But of course you can use your favorite dairy-free creamer. All right, so we have creamer in our iced coffee. Now you are just going to use as much, I'm going to get a clean spoon, cinnamon syrup as you want. Not cinnamon syrup, sorry. This is honey syrup. There are cinnamon syrups out there too, but I literally just want the sweetness to be from honey. So honey and water dissolved. I'll put about a teaspoon in there. Stir that around so it's got some sweetness to it. And then I did not think I would be a fan of this, but I am just literally sprinkling the cinnamon. I've got some organic ground cinnamon from Target. Use as much as you want, you guys, but use it sparingly. Start out with a little because a little goes a long way. Just stir it in. This kind of has the vibe of my turmeric lattes, if you guys remember those, where I was inspired by a different coffee shop in Nashville to make turmeric lattes, and those are really yummy, like in the winter, a nice warm turmeric. This is gonna be my summer drink though. You can see the cinnamon on the top, just kind of settling there. I just give it a good stir every once in a while. And I went from Dunkin' Donuts cold brew coffee black to a honey cinnamon, not quite a latte, honey cinnamon cold brew. That's what we got, honey cinnamon cold brew with cream. So hopefully this makes sense. If you knew about honey syrup, let us know. Any other tricks that you have about it. If you are learning something new today, share the excitement with me because I can't believe how easy this was. So, all right, you guys, it looks like I'm getting messages from the lunchroom at Miles' school, so I need to go answer them. I hope you guys get your free cold brew today and that you can make a honey cinnamon coffee soon. Cheers. Let us know how you like it.